This conference will now be recorded. This conference will now be recorded.
Can any one of you confirm me that you're able to hear my voice?
Hello, ma'am. Very good evening, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. It's clear.
Thank you for the confirmation. We will give few more minutes for others to join, then we'll start
Okay,
our
ma'am.
session. We can start our session. If others join, the session is recorded and they can see it later also if they miss any point. Okay, I'm quickly sharing my screen. So just a recap, yesterday was the day one of demo, and there we have covered the need of Java in the market and the course content. The customized course content which covers both for the beginners and for the advanced students. So we have covered both these areas, and today's session will be the continuation of demo session only, but we will be touch base on some of the uh, basic contents. Okay, because I had to know about you guys. Usually when we start this session we will understand the expectation of the student, what they want, and what is their background, so that it will be easy for us to guide them and instruct them in the course. So after this demo sessions, we will have some intro kind of thing, and we will do a detailed understanding about your expectation and your current background and other things. I hope my screen is visible and I'm audible to you. If you face any challenge in my audio or video, please do let me know. You can ping in the chat also so that we can resolve it quickly. So I hope my screen is visible. So some basic introductions. Again, I'm re-insisting again. We are not going to do so much of PPT works or Word document kind of work, because I strongly believe in one fact, that is, when you do a real-time development, when you do some coding only, you will actually understand anything. Okay, it is not only Java. Any technical things which you want to do, unless and until you do practice, or unless and until you see the real thing happening, either I'm typing or you are typing, it's not going to make any difference. But again, if you show something which is already typed on a paper, it is not going to help you. So what I strongly believe is, we are working towards this Java training, right? So obviously it is good to see the screen and learn it. So screen in the sense I'm referring to the editor. So your Java editor, it can be anything. So there are like 3, 4 Java editors in the market. IntelliJ, Eclipse, STS. So we are going to use IntelliJ, and the reason for selecting IntelliJ also I've covered yesterday. So now what we are going to do is some basic introductions. So in this introduction, very first thing is my assumption is you are from the scratch. Okay, you don't know anything about the programming language. I may be wrong because I had to get the self introduction. Say for example, some of you are from non IT background. You don't have much knowledge about the IT at all. So in that case, like first thing is what is programming language would be the question. So programming language means like I am communicating with you in English. Okay, using English language I'm communicating. Offline, if you communicate with me, I used to communicate like I do aware of other South Indian languages also. So I do communicate with other Indian languages with you. So this is the communication between me and my students. I use languages like Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, some other languages also I do use. So in that cases, it is a communication between you and me, human communication language. But when I want to talk to a machine, that machine should understand the language. What is the language a machine can understand? It is called machine language, which is nothing but zeros and ones. So for the machine to understand, we have to write something in zeros and ones. Just think about it. Is it really possible for us to type something like 001 means hi, 002 means how are you? So is it really possible for us to memorize all these binary codes in our memory? Because we are not machines, we are not computers at all. So there should be some intermediate language available that is called the programming language. I type in a human readable language. Hi, how are you? What do you want? But machine will understand zeros and ones. So the programming language come into picture, which converts these zeros and ones into the human, that is your machine readable language. So this is called the programming language. Again, yesterday I covered at a high level like why we need Java. Okay, but there are some other programming languages also were available when Java was in the market. How come Java came into the limelight by just bypassing all those programming language? So C was there, C++ was there. So how Java came into the limelight by pushing all those things aside. So there are so many things you can see it in the online, like they give like this is that this no. For me, I'm explaining everything from the real time experience, my day-to-day activity, whatever I come across, because I got an opportunity to work on all those things. If you ask me personally, I won't say this is best, that is best, because I worked on C, C++, Java, .NET, everything. It's different. Everything is unique in its own way. So it is having pros and cons, but Java somehow brought the attention of everyone with some key point that is called platform independent. What is this platform independent? You would have read it. Say I'm giving you a task and I'm saying that, hey, student number one, please develop an application and show me. Application means it can be anything, like even a calculator. I'm giving a small lab exercise to you. Create a calculator functionality as a program and give it to me. So what you will be doing, you will use your laptop, you will use an editor, you will write that addition means if I see a plus sign, I will do addition. Minus sign means I will do a subtraction. So you will do this all the calculation. You create one application and you will give it to me. But I am going to run your application in a Linux machine. You have developed in your laptop, which is based out of Windows operating system. So I believe that you know what is operating system and other things. So in laptops and all, we use like most of the time we use Windows. Okay. So in that configurations, like we will do a differentiations like operating system wise there can be a difference. You are using Windows and I am using a Linux one. So when I run your code in the Linux and Windows, it should work. It shouldn't be the case that I have developed an application in Linux and it will work in Linux. I have developed an application in Windows, so it will work in Windows. If that is the case, then the code, it is not the good code, because what we are doing. Sometimes we do work in a different operating systems. That's where the Java come into picture. That's where Java gave the confidence to the developer that there is a saying for Java when they use it early, like develop once, use anywhere. If you develop, there is no restriction that where you develop, there only you can use. There is no such restriction at all. So develop once and use wherever you want. So that is what called platform independent, irrespective of operating system which you are using, it will work. So there is no need that you have to rebuild your code, you have to rewrite your code. That's why Java got the attention of most of the developers. Second point, what I feel is good, what I feel unique is multi-threaded language with automated memory management. So what is this multi-threading? Even yesterday I did touch upon this concept. What is this multi-threaded and automatic memory management is? Say you are logging into some online shopping app. So you are logging in and you are selecting some product and you are placing an order. When you place an order, if you feel that like yesterday also you place an order, today also you are placing some other order, if that online shopping app is asking you to type your shipping address again and again, like every day whenever you place an order, it is asking you to type your address, means you get irritated. What is this application? I'm using this frequently, why it is asking me to repeat my address? Why can't it save the address somewhere? So this is what our thought, right? So what they did is, when you log into an online shopping app, when you are placing an order, it will prompt you the address. You would have noticed in all the famous online shopping app, it will prompt you some addresses upfront, and it will show that these are the addresses available for your profile. Do you want to continue the order placing for the same address, or you want to place for the different address? It will give you an option. But what you have done, you just selected the product, you just click on the button called buy. That's what you have done. But how come it is doing all these things? This is called multi-threading. In one button click, it will call n number of requests. It will make n number of requests at the back end. That is, ultimately it's a database only. So it will go to the database and it will fetch the information. Fetch in the sense it will get your data. Say if Madhavi, okay, she is logging in and she is doing some shopping and she wants to get some data. Means what it will happen? It will go to the database, it will get the data about her, and it will show that these are the address available. And if you want to proceed with the same shipping address or you want to enter a new one, so how comfortable it is. So in the background, it is making at least 3 4 requests to the database, and database is a place where every data is stored. The data about the user, it is stored. It will take the data and it will populate and it will show to us. So multiple requests are sent, multiple activities are happening in the background. That is called multi-threading. It is okay, okay, multi-threading is okay, but what is the additional thing is happening? Memory management. Prior to this Java, there are some programming language in the market. What happened is, I have to decide upon my memory allocation. Say, in a cupboard, I can fit in only 10 books or 20 books, means I have to think how can I fit in this 10 books or 20 books. If I have to fit in, like if I have to place 5 more books in the cupboard, means I have to understand whether I have to arrange it vertically or whether I have to arrange it horizontally. So I have to put extra effort to understand which way I have to insert, what is the arrangement I can use so that I can accommodate more books in my cupboard. So this is what happened in the developer cycle also in the other programming language. When I have to use more and more data, apart from the functionality like placing an order, canceling an order, like these are the regular things we do in the online shopping app, right? Apart from this, I have to understand, I have to scratch my head on the memory management also. How much memory I have, how much memory left for me, how I can deallocate the memory, how I can utilize the memory, and even for utilizing and deallocation also, I have to remember all the syntax. It was painful in this other programming language using the memory management concept. So what Java did, it said no. Hey, your job. You are a developer. Why you have to really worry about this memory management and all? You concentrate on the functionality. If your tail is asking you to do some functionality, cancel order or create an order, work on the functionality alone. Why you have to really worry about this memory management? So it came up with the option called automatic memory management. It is saying that you don't need to really worry about all other things, just concentrate on your functionality. So these things only made Java as a unique thing in the market. That's why so many applications were developed using Java. You can observe, okay, people used to say that recent things we are not using Java, new technology we are using. Yeah, I agree with that, but still there are so many applications which is already developed, and companies are not ready to rewrite that application because they trust those things. It is already written and they want to continue with that. If any new business needs to be added, they say that you continue with Java itself. There is no strong reason available for me to come out of Java. So that is why it took a great reliability and it is sticking to that business. So next thing is, I'm skipping the tools installation because once others join, it will be easy for us to do the tools installation like IntelliJ installations and all. I'll be walking through and we will do it. So the main important thing is, this is again your interview question. Say for example, you are going for an interview and they are evaluating you. So people think that they will ask you some high level questions only. They will think that they will ask you lambda expression. What is lambda expression? What is generics? They may feel sometime like that, but we get some clue that some people won't read or won't do the real time work just by reading the online material. They came for an interview means we easily catch up by asking some basic questions. So this is one among them. The screen which I'm displaying now. What is the difference between this JDK, JRE and JVM? This would be the very basic question, very simple question, but most of them struggle to do because they never work on it because it is already available. They don't need to really worry about it unless and until your editor is working. They don't need to really care about it, so they left it. But people who are really strong in this programming language only understand the difference, so we can easily catch hold of those things because we need people not only just do some high level work. If some issue happens in the production, if server issue something happen, if some memory issue happen in the production, the developer should be capable of supporting the support team. Anyhow, there will be a team who takes care of the server and other things, but the developer responsibility is to guide the support team also. In that case, you need the basic information. So very first thing what we are going to discuss here is JVM. Okay, so JVM is nothing but I already explained it partially. That is, whatever code I'm writing, it is all in the human readable language. I want somebody to convert my human readable language into the binary codes or the machine codes. So who is going to do it? JVM is a one. The abbreviation of JVM is Java Virtual Machine. So JVM is going to do this activity for me. It is going to convert all this human readable code into a binary so that the machine can understand. If I'm giving any comments, so what I'm doing, I'm giving, even now what I'm doing one mouse over here. This itself is command to my laptop. This itself is a command I'm giving to the machine stating that, hey, I'm doing a mouse over, so you have to move your mouse. So I'm going to underline something. This itself a command. So every command I'm giving to machine, how it will understand. I'm doing some activity, some action only, but somehow the machine should understand how it is doing. I have to feed it in the machine language, the zeros and one. So JVM is the one which is doing this conversion for me. It converts the byte code into the machine language. So that is a main thing of this JVM. But what is the JRE then? Some people used to say that without JRE you cannot do anything related That is called the JRE, the Java Runtime Environment. So what it is going to do? As a user, here Srinivas or Ranjit, what he is going to do? They are going to use the application. They are not going to develop the application. They just want to use whatever I have developed. But for that usage, they need some library support, Java library support. That is called the JRE. It is going to give me some environment, some space for me, or some supporting libraries for me, which will help me to run the software which I've developed, or the game app which I've developed. So it will contain some classes, it will contain the JVM also. Anyhow, I have written something. I've written one gaming app saying that jump, roll. So some comments I'm giving, right? That comment needs to be converted to a machine language. So there also I need JVM. So JRE is nothing but it's combination of some supported libraries along with JVM. So that is needed for a user. That is more than enough. You don't need anything else. This is more than enough for them to do it. But we are all developers. Who is going to code in Java? Who is going to develop something in Java? So in that cases, we need something called JDK, the Java Development Kit. What it is going to do? So I understand that JRE has some library which will help me to use the software, but I have lot of responsibility as a developer to develop in Java. I need more libraries compared to the libraries in JRE. Say for example, I have to print some logs, I have to run some multi-threading and all I was explaining, right? So some additional jars or some additional class files are needed in that cases compared to the JRE, because development responsibility is more when compared to the user responsibility, right? So developing an app, developing a software, it need more important things. So that's why JDK come into picture. So JDK has some libraries, it needs some libraries, it contains something which is beyond JRE. So what is this JDK will do? It includes a compiler and Java application launcher also. And one important thing is it will launch and opens a JRE, it will load the necessary classes and execute its main methods. So what it is doing, you will understand in the first slide itself, like it will clearly explain you. JVM would be there. This is the main core part for me, which is going to convert the code into a machine understanding code. JVM with some library, it is going to be the JRE. So who will use a JRE? The user. So the end user who is going to use a app which I have developed. The developer, I in the sense the developer has developed. So JVM plus the library is equal to JRE. But for the developer, I need more things, right? So JRE with some developer tools will be your JDK, the Java Development Kit. So what we are going to use is for our real-time development and other things is JDK, Java Development. It will have the complete informations for us to develop a application. Any doubt in this so far?
Yeah, yeah, I have one doubt. Let's say there is like a version of the production application. So on the server side, we should only have the JRE. Is that enough to run the Java application?
Yes, when it's depend upon how you have created your package. Say
Okay.
you're not going to transfer your codes, your raw codes to the production environment. You will compile it, you will create the executable, that
Okay.
executable you will push it to the server, right? So
Yeah.
it depends upon how you are packaging your code. If you develop something in such a way that it is in need of the sum of the library from JDK, then it is needed. But the proper way is don't include all other things. Your code should be Can you hear me? I faced some network issue and I joined back now. Can
Yeah,
you hear
yeah,
me?
we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I was asking, did I answer your question, Srinivas?
Yes, yes, yeah,
Okay, can I proceed?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Next thing is this you won't get it in any interview and you're not going to use it also, but still as a developer it is good to understand. So I will take few minutes of your time to explain what are the different type of platforms available in the market for the user, because Java is used by different type of users. You can be a student, you can run a small I can say a startup company, or you are enterprise organization, or you want to develop one mobile application. So depend upon the user, Java is supporting with different types. Why it is coming with different types means if you need more features from Java, it is not like always Java is open source, that is free of cost. There are some cases you have to pay the license. When you have to pay is when you are going for the more featured object, when you're asking that I want this, that, this. So enterprise versions, if you and all you are going means obviously you have to pay for the licensed one. So when you're planning based upon the need, you can pick and choose what type of Java platform I can use. The first thing is standard edition. The standard edition, it has a basic types. Okay, it is a very basic types, and it has a I would say, as a student we can go with the standard edition itself because it covers all the things free of cost. It's a open source, you don't need to really pay for it. And you can do your self learning, or if you want to create a small project, mini project, everything you can do it with the standard edition itself. Say for example you are running one big organization where you have to concentrate on the customer data. They say customer sensitive information you're supposed to maintain some scalability means I let's take an example of the online shopping app. Sometimes only 10 or 15 users will be using the online shopping app. Sometimes 1 million customer will log in at the same time. So there I have to work on the scalability. Scalability means increasing, okay, the user level, like dynamically I have to handle it. How can I do it? So those things are also come into picture when I develop an application. It is not like only functionality, click this button, your order will be placed, click this button, your order will be cancelled, click this button to track the order. It is not going to be like that. When 100 user logs in also, this button click should work. When 200 user or 2000 users log in also, this button should work. So the scalability, it's a very important thing for a enterprise application. Next thing is security, I would say, because nowadays you itself think about it, like you today you are logging to a app and you are giving all your details like your contact information, email address, everything you are giving. From next day onwards you are getting so many calls from different persons, like credit card, insurance, blah blah blah. Then what you will feel? Recently I gave my phone number to only this application and that guy misused my data. So very first thing is you will delete the app. So that we should not do it, because that app may not do it purposely. Somebody could have hacked the app and they got the customer details. This might have happened also. So security is one important thing all the big organizations are concentrating, because they will lose a customer if they lose the customer data, the sensitive information. So scalability, secure. Next thing is reliability. So whenever you log into a app or any other website, you think that I need the data, I need the information to be presented in the screen immediately. 1 second, 2 seconds, this is what maximum I can wait. I don't want to wait to see the screen for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Maybe some of you would have got this faced it personally also. I don't want to name the website. If you want to book some ticket, you would have visited at least once in your life one ticket booking website. Before 5 years or 6 years, what we feel is like it will be very hectic to use that website, because it is not reliable. Sometimes it will be spinning, sometimes it will be saying that it is not available. So that is called the reliability. I won't rely on that particular website if it is not working 24 bar 7. At least 99.9% is the expectation. Like 1 or 2% is okay. But whenever I try it, that too on a peak hour, that too on holidays times and all, that website won't work. So obviously I don't rely on that particular website. This is not the one is the expectation of the modern trended website. It should be reliable every time. It should work all time 24 bar 7. It should work whether it is a festive sale, whether it is a peak hour, whether it's a monthly sale. Every time it should work, because I'm the very important customer to them. Whether I'm purchasing a 10 rupees product or 1 lakh rupee product, it is not going to vary. So this reliable is important thing. So these many requests I'm giving to Java. So what Java will do? Oh boss, you're asking so many things. Then I can give a open source item to it. There are some categories available, that is called the enterprise edition, that is mainly intended for an enterprise customer like you. You come and join that particular platform. That is where they have created this enterprise edition. Next thing is this micro edition, this mobile phones. So it's a programming applications on small devices like your mobile phones. And last thing is your JavaFX. It is for the rich internet application. Nowadays people are more interested on this only, right? Rich internet means it needs the look and feel, the APIs, so many the lightweighted things. These are the expectations from them. I don't want a heavy lifting application until I want the lightweight kind of thing. In that cases, the JavaFX is the option we are supposed to pick. Why I am telling all those things is, say for example, you are going to use a Java for your day-to-day development. You don't need to go and subscribe for the paid version. You can very well go with the open source. That is more than sufficient for your self-learning kind of thing. Say for example, you are going to start a company, and if you have some other thoughts like other category options, you can pick and choose the apt one for your regular development. Okay, so now this is the basic thing, I would say, the anatomy of a Java program. Not only for Java program, this is applicable for the other famous things in the market also. So if you understand this concept, you can learn the other concept also. Because Srinivas has rightly asked one question which is relevant to the anatomy which we are going to discuss. You are entering into a organization, and nowadays this microservices concept also have come. So like there are so many modules in the shopping app. Like let's take I don't want to name, but you can pick any one online shopping app, any famous one, India famous or the world famous app, anything you can take. In that online shopping app, there will be n number of features available, n number of activities you can do it in the shopping app. That is, first thing is you can do a registration, that is sign up you can do. After sign up, you can do the sign in. Even in sign up, there are so many things you will do. You will enter your contact information, your mobile phone, your email information, email address you will enter. After entering it, what will happen? It will do some authentication. It will send the OTP to your registered email and registered mobile. The authentication will happen. After this authentication only, it will create one ID for you, and you have to activate the ID. So why I'm stretching all those things is, it's just a registration. The word is very simple. There is a functionality, there is an activity in my project called registration. But inside registration, I have to validate so many things. I have to do so many steps to complete the registration. Likewise, if you are working for a project like the online shopping app, there are so many activities you have to do, so many things will be doing. So if I have one file with 20,000 or 25,000 lines of code, it is meaningless. That is not the correct way of development also. So let's take an example. You are going to a supermarket, and you are in need of buying some biscuits alone. You don't want anything. You are entering a supermarket or hypermarket, and you are intended to buy only biscuit, that to a specific brand you want to buy. You can understand the size of a hypermarket, how big it is, like what, how many things would be available, how many racks would be available. So if everything is scattered, everything it is not arranged in a proper way. You just think about that in the big hypermarket, when you will find your biscuit, when you will buy, when you will eat it, this is not going to be work out. Okay, so you will do, very first thing, you will enter the supermarket and you will inquire. Sometimes there are some name boards available. If it is not available, you will ask the shopkeeper or somebody who is going to help you there. You is going to ask, where is the snacks area? So you will go to the snacks area. Again, in the snacks area, you will check for which is the rack which is holding the biscuits. So you will go to that particular rack. Again, in the biscuits area, you will check, this is what the brand I'm looking for, and you will check. Either you will go for the brand or you will go for the type of the biscuit. It can be the diet food, no sugar, whatever the category you're looking for. You will pick anyone, you will come out, you will do. So if everything is arranged in a proper way, you can complete your work in few minutes. But you just think about that. One side you have your veggies, another side you have fruits. In center of fruits rack they are keeping your biscuits, means how you will find where you will go, it will be a painful work. So there only we have this concept of packages. We have the concept of class and methods. So your supermarket is equal to the package. So I have everything, whatever I need, everything is packaged in a common place called supermarket. There I get all my home needs in a single place itself. Again, class is nothing but my snacks area. I'm interested only on snacks. I don't want vegetables. I don't want in that hypermarket. I'm not interested on fruits. I'm not interested on any other item. I'm interested only on the biscuit. So snacks. So the snacks area is your class. Next thing is, again in the snacks area, I don't want any other savories and other things. I'm very interested on the biscuits only. So that is called the methods. So this is how it is arranged in the Java. That is, the anatomy is, you have some methods. Methods is nothing but small tasks. I have told you, right, that the online shopping app, small steps I am doing. Click on a button. When I click on the button of registration, what will do? It will do the authentication and it will validate my information and it will do some registration for me. So three steps it is doing. For these three steps, I can create three methods. Methods are nothing but group of, or putting all the steps in a common header. That is called method. So you are doing 2-3 steps. You are giving 2-3 commands to the machine. You are combining the three commands which you are planning to give to the machine and you are creating the methods. Likewise, you have a registration, you have a create an order. So you can combine the methods and create one class. Then classes may be n number of things you can have. Like for creating an order, you can have one class. For canceling an order, you can have a class. To tracking the order, you can have a class. So multiple classes, because each and everything is a different activity. To create an order, I am purchasing a dress. I am placing an order. When I place an order, so many things it will happen. What it will do? You will be checking the size of the, say, dress you are purchasing, size of the dress, availability of the dress, when it will be delivered to me, is delivery available in my particular area. So many things you have to validate. So in class, you can have n number of methods and you can have n number of classes to create a package. So package can have a class called create an order. A package can have a class called canceling the order. A package can have a class called tracking an order. So I'm discussing everything orally now because this is a demo session only. From tomorrow onwards, I'll be writing the code and I'm showing this to you so that you can easily understand what I'm actually explaining you. So finally, this package is there, right? This is what I'm going to deliver to the end user. I'm creating one online shopping app. I'm developing it. So one famous organization is coming and asking me, you have developed an app, I'm very much impressed with that, can you give it to me? So what I will do, I won't give the source code. Source code is nothing but the Java code which I have developed. I'll be compiling the code and I will give only the executables to them. Executable nothing but converting the .java extended file to a .class file again. Only the package I will create, and that package alone I'll give it to the end user. Being an end user, they will have only the class file, the extended class file. So you would have known every file will have some extension. If you are using a text file, the extension will be file.txt. If you are using a Word document, you know the extension. If you are using a PPT, it's like .ppt, .pdf. So there are some extension available, right? Similarly, when I do some coding, my file will have an extension called .java. The ending is .java. But when I have to give this code to the user, end user, it's not only the external person who is purchasing. You are working in an organization, you are developing a code, and your code you want to deploy to a development environment or testing environment. I am not going to give my source code. I'll be giving only the executables to them, where I will create the executables from the package. I'll be grouping all this class and I'll be creating one extra executable, and that executable I will give it to the different environments and it will be executed. So this is how we have. So what I'm going to do now is like again, as I told you yesterday, it is not mandated that you have to have a dedicated laptop or dedicated desktop for your Java learning curve, because I understand from my students that some of them may not have the a dedicated or individual laptop kind of thing. So there are some options available. So this is the very first thing, right? I will show that path also, how you can do a learning without having a laptop or desktop. Even from your phone you can do the learning, you can do the hands-on of Java. So I'm going to show that. So I'm sharing my screen, my browser I'm sharing. I hope my screen is visible. So what you're going to do here is, there are some compilers available which is called online compiler. It is not only for Java, for other programming languages also, for other latest technology also, there are online compilers available. So nowadays it made our work easy. You don't need to really worry about the memory utilization or the space available in my laptop. Wherever you want, it is not only from the laptop, even from your phone you can do it. You can open your browser and you can type Java online compiler. Once you type it, there are so many options available. So whichever you feel comfortable, you can do it. But most of my students, they feel comfortable with this particular program is. So this will help you to do your hands-on. So here you can type your code, you can add all your activities and you can execute it also. Okay. So now what I'm going to do here is, when you open it, not only in the online programming compiler, even when you install a IntelliJ, even when you install a Eclipse, it will create one very first application to you and it will show a screen like this. So this will be your very first application. Usually your hierarchy would be on top of this, you will have something called your package would be there. This is hierarchy. You can create your package here, com.isha. Okay, so this is the package I'm going to use. This package can have any number of classes, and I can have a class called hello world, I can have a class called student, I can have a class called machines. Whichever class I want I can create, and I can keep it under the package called Isha. Why I'm keeping under the same package means, the main important thing for this is reusability. What is this reusability is, if you develop a method, if you like I've taken an example called uh, getting that shipping address, right? So you have developed a method which will help you to get the shipping address of the user from the database. Database is something called, it's a storage. Like, you, for the people who doesn't know database, I'm using a simple language here. It's something like some storage area where all the datas are all stored. So from that database, you are getting some information, the shipping address. And if you create one functionality, if you create any method which will fetch the data from the DB, means the same functionality you can reuse it anywhere in the online shopping app. It is not only on the create order. If you want to use it in the anything called, if you want to update the order, or if you want to do any other functionality which in need of the delivery address, the shipping address, then the same code can be reused. You don't need to sit and write the same logic, repeat the same logic in a new file. That is what called reusability. For reusability, what I have to do, I have to rely on this package concept. If I am doing something on this package com.isha, then from next time onwards I can refer to the same package and I can use a particular class, I can use a particular method for in the next class or some other new class, I can very well reuse it. That's why we are creating the package called com.isha. So whatever the class, say hello world is one class, if I have another class called class new, I can keep it under this. So just for the demo purpose, I am having both the classes in the same thing. But in the real development, what they will do is they will create new file. Okay, tomorrow I will show it from IntelliJ. There I will show like how you can create a class file, what is the extension of the class file. Once it is compiled, what will happen, everything I will show it in the real demo. So now this is how everything is packaged in the class. The hierarchy would be the package, anatomy, next is class. Under the class I have a method, this is my method. So this is the anatomy which we were discussing before, package, class and method. So any project which you are creating, it should follow this hierarchy so that it is readable and you can execute also. You won't get any error when I remove the package because it is already added in this online compiler. So it is giving me a message called hello world. So everywhere wherever you go, it is not only for Java, wherever you go your very first project will be hello world only. So here also we are starting. So what I'm going to do is just change it. Welcome to code Java training. I'm changing the text here. So this is nothing but, this particular line is nothing but the print statement, we call it in Java, system.out.println. So whatever you are giving inside this double quotes, it will be printed as a output here. So this is my code. I'm going to run it. When I run it, I can see the message whatever I see. In the upcoming sessions, each and everything we will be discussing. What is println, what are all the things available in println, everything I'll show it in the IntelliJ with the corresponding supporting class and other things. Now today is the very first thing, right? So I don't want to dump much here. So the anatomy would be like this only, your package, your class, and finally your main thing. So this is how we go. And you have completed your very first project now, like you see you have created one small hello world and it is working also. So any doubt, it is very simple, we didn't get into the actual thing at all, but still any doubt, do let me know. Okay.
Yeah, UV on the output, there is some command on the top, right? I think, is it used for compiling that one? Java minus something.
Yes, that is the command used for Java. See, uh, if possible, I'll show from the command line execution also. When you use a IDE, you won't be knowing what are the commands it is happening in the background. So there are commands will execute. One is Java C space and one thing will come. Then Java space something will come. There are two commands available, Java C and Java command. What it will do is, first thing is your .java file. I told, right, whatever I have typed in the screen. Let's take, I'm storing it in a text file. So usually that is what we do in the early stage and all. No editor, nothing. You will have only notepad. So in the notepad, you will type all your code and you will save the notepad call like demo.java you are saving. So that is your Java file. And that Java file, very first thing is it will be converted into a class file. So you have to go to the particular path. Say I'm saving in my C colon, I'm saving in my D colon, means it will go to the particular path and command prompt only. I hope you have you know what is this command prompt and all, right? In your Windows machine you would have seen it. So you can go to the run and type command prompt, means a black window will open. PowerShell windows also you guys would have got chance to see it. In the command prompt you have to type the commands. First command will convert from the .java file to a .class file, that is demo.java file will be converted to demo.class file. So this is what that executable I have told you, right? So this executable only shared to the environment, your development environment or your testing environment or production environment. The .class extension file will be shared. Later on, the JRE and other things I have discussed, right? When you are running your application in the testing environment or the production environment, the .class file will be converted into a actual binaries. Okay, so there only another Java command will be executed. So Java, your actual thing will be like Java space the demo dot class file as generated, right? That is a command, Java space demo dot your class file. Once it run like this, what will happen? Your actual output, whatever you are seeing in the screen, right, that will do. So two commands will be running in the backend. One is called compiling your code. Compiling is nothing but you're changing your source code into a actual class file. And second thing is converting the class file, that is called your executable thing. So one is compilation. Obviously when you do a coding you will see n number of errors when you do a compilation. So that Java C compiler will tell you, hey, you didn't do a semicolon here, you didn't close the bracket, there are some error at line number 1, line number 2, everything it will tell. I'll do one thing, I'll quickly share the screen. We have few more minutes left. So this is what the one you are telling, right? So it is executing my code. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to purposely create some mistakes. I'm going to run it. So very first command what I told you, Java C, then that file. So hello world.java is the actual file where my code is available. So very first thing what it will do, it will compile my code and see any error is there. Is my code is actually written properly or not. It itself will do. I don't need to do a double check here. It itself will do and say that, hey, you didn't write properly. There is one error and that error is line number 6. It is giving the line number 6 also, you can see. So what I will do, I'll go to the line number 6 and I'll see, hey, what is the issue. So it is saying expected, one bracket is expected and you didn't put it. So I will go and put that and I will run my code now. So first compilation, next execution. So now I'm clicking on run again. My code is compiled properly, no error. So it is executing my code. So Java space, this is the execution command. So you don't need to put this and all, as it is online compiler, it is doing all those things. In your local, in your laptop, when you are trying, you can say Java space hello world. That is more than sufficient. It will run your code and whatever instruction I'm adding in my method, whatever the task I'm expecting the machine to do, that will be executed. In my very first code, what I did, I want this to print the welcome message. So that is a task I've given this to the machine. So it is printing the welcome message. Is it clear?
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. So with this, I'm ending today's session. I hope no doubt in today's session. If there is any doubt, you can ask me, no issue. Even tomorrow, if you're not able to watch the video or like attend the session completely, the recorded versions will be shared. You can watch the video and you can come back with your questions. I'm happy to clarify your doubts. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for joining. We will meet tomorrow.
Yeah. Thank you. Bye.